Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, watching us live or listening to the recording of More Than Just Task Management. My name is Anna Angelova, the host of this podcast and a business coach and consultant specializing in productivity and personal development. And it's a pleasure being here with you again on Valentine's Day. And I have here with me Joris Minnesvand, the other co-host of the podcast and the other founder of Planter. Hey, Joris.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anna. Happy Friday and happy Wine Day. I think some parts of the world it's Wine Day as well, which sort of coincides with Valentine's Day. Uh, I'm Joris Minasvan, as Anna mentioned, co-host and co-founder of Plandor. Great to be here.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I'm originally from Bulgaria, and we do celebrate Wine Day. Like this is today, it's the day when mm, the vine gets cut to get prepared for the season ahead, and yeah, we love our wine, and it really aligns well with Valentine's Day and chocolate and love and all these kind of things. But this is not the topic for today. What we want to dive a little bit deeper into today is assessing your progress and adjusting what you do as you continue working on your goal. Because like, goal setting is one thing, but then goal achievement is a completely different story. And for us to achieve our goals, we need to consistently monitor what's going on. Are we on the right track? What's working? What's not working? And this week, it has been a little bit of a theme, right? Like we started Monday, actually, from Monday, we started with the lessons from the Super Bowl. And this is one of the things we discussed on Monday, what the Eagles did and how they changed things around. Yes, they were consistently doing some things, but then they changed things around a little bit. So we thought that today let's dive deeper into this one because it's a very important topic. I know we talked this week. We talked about focus. So if you missed actually the episodes, go and listen to them. Watch the videos wherever you are, whichever platform you use. Like we talked about focus. We talked about progress over perfection. We talked about motivation, like the power of your why. And today we want to dive into assessing and adjusting. Joris, I'll give you the floor to share your thoughts on the
Yeah,
topic.
absolutely. I mean, we're all quarterbacks for what we do, right? Whether it's work for our families, or for the position that we hold for our teams, outside of work, inside work. But sometimes we have to, when we do the assessment, we have to step out of that quarterback and become a wide receiver, like they did with Saquon Barkley, like you mentioned with Eagles. I think it was third quarter or fourth quarter. It was third quarter where they tried and tried. He only ran a few yards, and then all of a sudden he's at the 15-yard line and he received the ball, and everybody was like, "Wow!" And that is a winning formula for us to say, "Oh, I'm only the quarterback. I'm just going to stay here, wait for the ball to be passed to me, and I only don't put yourself in a box. Be open when the time comes. Step out of your pocket." And be the running back or the receiver that your team needs, whether it's your project, whether it's your team. It's also good for morale and comes back to the leading by example, right? When you do that, if you're part of it, managing a team, your team looks at that, they learn from you, right? And each one of them becomes not multitaskers, but can be put into multiple positions. So
Yeah, and this is especially important when uh, I know that a lot of our listeners are either startups or small businesses, right? And or even solopreneurs, like wearing so many hats, and it's important to be able to step into all these different roles and wear all these different hats and be able to help the team, like help the business. And one thing that, like, as you were sharing the example, one thing that we did mention it on Monday as well, play to your strengths. So obviously, yes, Barkley is like a runner, right? Like he's good at this thing, but obviously he catches the ball well as well. Like he has steady hands as well, right? So on Monday, like one of the topics, like one of the themes was don't put people in a position of failure. So when it comes to like readjusting things, shuffling things, trying different things, key thing is to like play to your strengths, like play to your strengths and to your team's strengths, and don't be afraid to try different things. And it all comes from one thing that we have been also talking about a lot, and the episode on Sunday, like we discussed like weekly planning. So this is the thing. Sunday was only one game, right? Like Super Bowl, it was one game, 4 hours, right? But when we talk about our goals, it's usually something that we either set a goal for the whole year, right? The fiscal year, and the other types of goals that we usually have are the BHAGs, the big hairy audacious goals that are 3 years ahead of us. So it's really important to consistently assess, reevaluate what's going on. And those weekly planning and review sessions, monthly, quarterly, like that's so important to help you see what's going on, where are you going. And as part of this, it's really important to think about what are the things you're keeping, like what are the things that are working well, that okay, we keep on doing this and we even double down on this, right? Like we even double down on this. What are the things that are not working? And the ones that are not working, do you adjust? Like, do you try to like, tweak it a little bit? And this is what we saw on Sunday, right? The Eagles kept on trying with running. They kept on trying and adjusting. Or do you stop it? Like, if something is not working, it might be time to stop. And it might be time to introduce something new. Like, what else can you try? What other things can you evaluate, and like what other things can you introduce to help you achieve your goals? So like it's really like that consistent, regular review, so you can assess and adjust. It's what really helps you move forward. And Joris, I know you love the analogy with the plane, right? When it flies.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it gets there, and with most efficient fuel, because fuel is the most expensive part of what you pay in a flight, right? Probably 75% of your ticket cost is for the fuel, so, and that's how they keep on track. And same thing with your fuel, spend it where in the right place, and sometimes that right place, like we said, it's not what you do every day. It's something else today that needs to be done, right? That's how you take the step forward. We talked about taking steps forward. Today, do you run 2 yards, 4 yards, or 40 yards? But if you need to run only 1 yard, but in a different position, that's what it takes.
Absolutely. And that's why, and now, unfortunately or fortunately, right? Like, it really depends on how you look at it. There's no formula that tells you, oh, in this situation you do this, in this situation you do this, in this situation you do this. Business and life, we all know about it. And this is, for me, this is one of the beautiful things of being a business owner and figuring all these things out, right? That you don't know. Like you just look at you look at what's going on, and yes, you use data, of course. Like in a lot of things, like especially nowadays, like marketing, sales, like all these things, like we have so much data, even probably too much data. But sometimes it's also like using your own gut, and this is something that we don't really use a lot. Like a lot of people don't trust it, but the best ones actually really trust their gut. Of how do I proceed? Like, okay, this is where I'm right now. Like, this is where my company is right now. This is where we want to go. So, like, evaluating and seeing, okay, what's going on? What can we do moving forward? These things all play together, and yeah, unfortunately, as I said, from one perspective, there's no certain things for us to tell you. Oh, if this happens, then you stop doing whatever you're doing, and you figure something new. If this happens, then you can readjust. If that happens, you start. Like, trust your gut, use the data you have. And there are, like, when we talk about data, there are actually a lot of places where you can find, let's say if you're running ads on Facebook, like you can find, okay, for this type of an ad, a good numbers are like this range, like between this and this, like 3 to 5 cents for a video view, for example, right? So you can find these kind of things that can help you adjust and see, okay, based on your KPIs, right? Where are you and what's going on? Are they green? Are they yellow? Are they red? But then it's up to you, and this is the beauty of it, of being a business owner, that it's up to you to find your own success formula. What do you keep doing, like what's working, and you keep on doing and even doubling down on it. We talked about the 80-20, right? Like what's the 20% you double down on so you can achieve the 80% of the results? And then what are the things that are not working? So you either adjust or completely stop and find something new.
Yeah, and I love this. I mean, gut feeling is number one. If you are true, your business is the result of a dream that you had. And if you are truly connected to that business and your dream, follow your gut feeling. That is your guiding. At the end of the day, when there's you're offline, you're sitting there, you close your eyes, it's you and your thought. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, and you know what to do. Just get up and go to Plandoor, take your step, put your steps in, and do it.
Love it, love it. Yeah, you know what to do. That's true, actually.
You know,
even if you think you don't, even if you think you don't, you do. You just allow yourself to know. Yeah, love it.
Absolutely. All right, that was fantastic session.
It was another fantastic session, yes. And thanks everyone for watching, listening. We'll be back tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow, so the live will most likely be an hour later, like 8:30 Eastern time here, to take Toronto time. So if you want to see us live on a Saturday morning with no brush hair or something, join us on YouTube, on Plandoor's channel. Otherwise, listen to any of the platforms, of the podcast platforms. Remember to subscribe so you get the notifications. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful Friday.
Have a wonderful Friday, everyone. Bye.